Hey everybody, welcome to our Monday hangout Zoom tonight. Tonight, my guest is going to be Tina Modrell. She is a Ruby ambassador with Plexus. A little bit about Tina. Um, she is a part of my team, and her story is just so powerful. And I know that there's somebody here tonight that needs to hear this, or listen to the replay. She is going to speak about fear. Um, but Tina, y'all, she is a graduate of the Baptist Bible College in Springfield, Missouri. She has a bachelor degree in elementary education and Bible. She has written a Bible study, two of them, and they're on Amazon. She's a mom of four kids. She's a grandma of one. And of course, she's a Ruby ambassador, and she has held her rank since she has hit it. She is going to share her story tonight. So, Tina, I'll go ahead and let you take it over.
Okay. Hello. Yes, I am Tina Modrell, and I appreciate being asked to speak. I was so nervous earlier. I said, okay, I'm going to go get some of that calming cocoa and drink that. And then I said, well, I think I need a restore. So, yeah, both. But anyway, all right. So she told you that uh, a little bit about me. My husband was in the ministry for 30 years, and we're going to start off my story back in Oklahoma about, well, when my daughter, like my second child, sorry, whichever one she is, was 15. All right. And uh, she was 15 years old, and I would go and I would watch her at Taekwondo. She absolutely loved it. And she was she was excelling at it, and I was faithful to go and watch her at almost every practice because I wanted her to know that I believed in her and that she could do it. And then one day she looked at me and she goes, Mama, why don't you do this with me? And I was like, me? uh and then all these excuses, I can still feel all the excuses that came up for why I couldn't do it. I'm like, okay, I'm a little chubby. Over 45. This was 9 years ago. Okay. Um, and then, I mean, all the excuses that I could think of. And maybe you can imagine some of the excuses you would give. I can't do Taekwondo. I don't know about that. And so anyway, I said, well, we'll just talk about it when you get to be black belt, and then we'll talk about it. And I thought for sure she'd just let it go. She wouldn't bring it back up again. Okay, 2 years later, she gets her black belt. Before we even leave the building, she looks at me and she goes, it's your turn. And I was like, oh boy. So I was like, okay. But I was scared. So this is why I'm talking about fear. I was scared. I was afraid of looking silly. I was afraid my leg that I had broken in high school was going to give out because I had had trouble with it. Um, I was afraid because I have a cochlear implant, and without this, I only have like 17% of my hearing, but I could not wear it on the mat. Okay. And so I was afraid that would cause a problem. But mostly, you know what I was afraid of? What the other moms would think if I didn't do a good job. Anybody else can understand that? Okay, so went home, prayed about it, and it was like God said, you know what, Tina, those girls are watching you. You've got 3 teenage girls that are watching you. So anyway, this came to my mind, and it was, they are watching me. God is watching me. Are they going to see me overcome challenges in this life, or are they going to see me give up and give in? And I wanted them to believe that they could do hard things because they saw mom do hard things. So I started, and I got laughed at by the moms behind their hands. And my leg did give out on me some. So I put a brace on, went back in there, did it again. I had to go without my hearing aid cochlear thing. And I had to ask the instructor to look at me so I could read his lips. And I got better at lip reading. And then I got to 2 belts before black belt, and I had to have a hysterectomy. Had the hysterectomy and recuperated, got back in there, and was going for it. My son left home to go to college, had all the stresses of a 40-something-year-old homeschooling mom with a husband in the ministry. Okay, but my girls were still watching me, and God was still watching me, and I wanted them to be proud of me. So I knew that with the Lord's help, I could do this. And if I was going to tell them, they could do hard things if they were doing it for the Lord, if they were persistent, if they were listening to his voice, if they were determined, if they were consistent, then they could reach their goals. After 3 years of literal blood, sweat, and tears, I got my black belt. Yay! Ta-da! Now, all that happened, and then 6 months after I had my hysterectomy, 2 months after I got my black belt, my life changed. And we moved from Oklahoma to South Carolina. My husband moved for a ministry position here in South Carolina. My 2 oldest kids were over 18. They wanted to stay in Oklahoma. And then I was in full-blown menopause from that hysterectomy. My daughter, Christina, which was my 3rd child, was diagnosed with anorexia. And she had drawn some things that were showing self-harm. So there were nights I was sleeping outside her door. And then my youngest daughter, she was okay with moving. She's a pretty laid-back person. She just wanted piano lessons. And we were so strapped financially, we couldn't afford it. And so my husband and I, okay, would go to church, put the face on, everything's fine, everything's great. And then we'd go home and we'd be praying, saying, Lord, how are we going to make the next rent payment? How are we going to do it? And out of the clear blue, this lady from church that I think I met her once in passing or something. She sent me this friend request. It was Jennifer. And she said, hey, I go to your church. Can we be friends on Facebook? And I was like, cool. New friend, new place. Yes, definitely. And then a week or 2 later, she said, hey, have you ever thought about trying Plexus? And I literally said, what is Plexus? No clue. No idea. And she had no idea. She had no idea. We were praying for something that would help me. Something that would help us financially. So many things. So long story short, after we prayed about it for about a month and I kept watching her stories, I kept watching her posts on Facebook, and she kept saying, I think this can help you. I think this can help you. Okay. My husband said, well, she said there was a 60-day money back guarantee. So let's have a yard sale. If you make enough money with the yard sale, you can get started. So we had a yard sale. We made enough money for that and a pizza. Woohoo! And so I got started on the products. And then about a week after getting started on the products, I could feel a difference. I could feel my hot flashes getting better and getting less in intensity. I had less brain fog. My daughter came through and she's like, Mama, you're not crying. It's like, I know, isn't it awesome? And then my other daughter was like, she said, I know that you think it's expensive, Mama, but the one that had the anorexia. But if you're taking care of yourself, you can take better care of us. I thought that was awesome words from that girl. And then my husband said, you know what? I can see in your eyes that you feel better. I don't care what we have to do. If we have to sell stuff, you're staying on those products. It's like, okay, that sounds great to me. So I said, well, Jennifer said that maybe I could sell this stuff and make it a business. And he's like, well, you feel better, so why not try it? I was like, okay. So guess what? I started thinking about posting, I started thinking about telling people, and all those fears from before I got into Taekwondo came back. What are people gonna say? Are people at church gonna make fun of me? I didn't say, "What if I fall?" I said, "What if I fail?" Okay. And then, what if people can't understand me or I can't understand them if I'm talking to them on the telephone because that's hard? What do I do if fill in the blank? What was your blank there? What was your fear? All of us have them. We just have different ones. So anyway, I had a lot of work to do on myself, but I kept working on it and kept sharing, and people have laughed at me. My brother made fun of me. Um, and I had to tell people we got to FaceTime because I can't understand you, or we got to get together for coffee so I can understand you. And you know what? That was okay. It was okay because other people's opinions didn't pay my bills. And I had to do what it took. And you know what? God was growing me so much, so much. And I was learning so many things I had no idea that I was going to learn. But God knew. God knew that my husband was going to lose his job and that COVID was coming. He knew that he was going to go to work at a different job and get hurt at work, and that he was not going to have an income for a year and a half. He knew that. But by that time, my Plexus business was paying for our house payment and our utilities. That's what my Plexus was paying for. And I had no idea. I had no idea that God was going to provide this that way through Plexus. Um, my girls were still watching me to see. We were able to send my daughter, I'm just going to tell you this, to a place called Mercy Multiplied. If you have anybody that you know that has a child that struggles with self-harm, anorexia, eating disorders, cutting, anything like that, Mercy Multiplied, Nashville, Tennessee is amazing. So there's my plug for them. Anyway, she went there. The first thing they did was put her on a probiotic because they knew it would help her mentally. But they also put her on Prozac. Well, anyway, she came home 6 months later and she had Jesus all over her. She didn't want to stay on that Prozac, so she got on Triplex and Vital Biome, and she was able to wean off of the Prozac. So she is doing great, and she has our little grandson, Alex, who's 3, and they live in Oklahoma. And then Tabitha, the one that just wanted me to be able to talk with her without crying and get piano lessons, graduated in May, summa cum laude, she'd gone to school on a piano scholarship, full scholarship. And she graduated. She's now started the Florence Music Academy here in town, and she's debt-free. So all this stuff, I had no idea what God was doing. And I'm so grateful. God has been able to get me to Ruby, and he's allowed me to hold it and to have this ministry opportunity. That's what I call it, my ministry opportunity to help people feel better. Because if I help people feel better, they can serve God better, and they can help other people do the same thing. So, what would have happened if Jennifer hadn't sent me that message? I don't know, but I'm so glad she did. And then here are my takeaways for you. I read this book called The Gap in the Gain. This book this year has been awful. Honestly, my dad passed away in January, and then I had cancer on my face twice. And just a lot of stuff. Everybody has stuff, okay? No excuses, it's just stuff. But I read this book called The Gap in the Gain, and he said, what are you measuring your success by? Are you measuring your success by some goal out there in the future? Or are you looking at where you started and measuring how far you've come? Because if you look at where you started and you measure how far you've come, that's encouraging. But if you're looking at this goal way off in the future, you're never going to be satisfied because there's always going to be another goal. I got my first degree black belt. Well, my daughter was 3rd degree. So how many people get a 1st degree black belt, right? So I celebrate that, not look and say, well, that person's got that. No, celebrate where you are. I finally realized this year, I am a ruby, and that's amazing. And I can celebrate that. And so think about where you are. Maybe you're silver, maybe you're gold, maybe you're just starting. But look how far you come. Don't measure yourself by that. Measure yourself by how far you've come, because that's encouraging. And then the next thing I want to say is no matter your age, you can do this. Okay, I'm 54 now, and God has a plan for you. If you are here with us, God has a plan for you to make a difference right where you are. Trust that. Look for where He's working and join Him in that. You can make a difference right where you are. You can make a difference for your own self, for your own family, for the people around you, and who knows how many other people. Focus on your goals and pray as you set them. Work towards them no matter what the negative Nellies say. Listen to constructive criticism. If you fall down, breathe, refocus, get back up, and try again. Here's a quote that I like. It's not the fear of failure as much as the fear of what other people think that's holding you back. And you know what? A lot of times people aren't even thinking about you. They're thinking about themselves, and they're wondering what other people are saying about them. And those people aren't thinking about them either. So anyway, instead of thinking, what if I fail? Think, what if I succeed? What an inspiration you could be. Fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. Someone's blessing, I love this. Robin Sullivan said this. Someone's blessing is tied to your obedience. Jennifer reached out to me, and I'm so glad she did. Who are you not reaching out to because you're scared? Who are you afraid of making that phone call to go help? Go for that rank. Make that phone call. Go for that black belt. Write that book. Lead a Bible study or a book club. Go for your dream. And then when you do, post about it and put hashtag yes you can. That's all I got.
It's so good. Jennifer reached out and made a friend, and then look at all the blessings that happened. That's Tina, I've never heard your story, and that is amazing. 2 comments, and I'm gonna let Jennifer say, because y'all know I gotta say something, but 2 things that came to my mind when you were talking is, one thing is Genevieve always says, what's the best thing that could happen? Not the worst thing that could happen. What's the best thing that could happen, right? And then also you were talking about, be you, and don't worry about everybody else, and you can compare yourself to other people and stuff, and well, her video went viral. Well, you know what? Your videos went viral for who you are. You can't compare yourself to somebody whose video went viral for 10,000 views. If your video went viral for 100 views, that's viral for you. So all that comparison and all that negative stuff, girl, I just love your story. I love your story. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks. And I have a couple of people on here that aren't Plexus people. So thank you guys for getting on and supporting me.
Yes, we love that. Jennifer?
Oh, gosh, it's so good. So good. Yeah. Well, y'all I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So put your takeaway in the comments, and I will let Lisa, I'll just, or Tina, if you want to say a number, and then we'll let Lisa count by the comments. So anyway, y'all go ahead. I think we have like 28 on.
So pick a number about 20, from 1 to 24. If based upon, you go ahead and put your comments in there, and then Tina will let me know what number to pick based upon your comments.
Yep. Tina, you want to throw a number out there, your favorite number between?
15.
Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Brenda Hammond. Brenda
Yay.
Hammond. She is the winner tonight. So, Brenda, you
Yes.
can get with Jennifer. Do you know Jennifer? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we thank you guys. I just want to say we appreciate you guys getting on every Monday night. I know that we're all busy and we all have things to do and stuff, but I appreciate the attendance and y'all getting on. It's one of my favorite nights of the week, and we so appreciate you guys. So I guess
Yep.
we will see y'all next Monday.
Yay. Bye,
Talk to y'all
y'all.
later. All right. Bye-bye.